metaphor for a predator. Been to the Mediterranean, on my papers like an editor. I flow like a reservoir dog, rap Tarantino, off the chain like Django. Still let the chain glow, where they bang no. And niggas get shot like camera angles. In rap videos, put up on Vimeo. I wear the buck 50 bicentennial, perennial, all-star. Fruit that don't fall far from Islam. When rap was dead, I had the fluid.
We got Divine Prospect back on Ready for R. What's good, Playboy?
It's good, Chief. How you doing? How's everything? Everything's good. It's been a while since I've been on Ready for R.
Yeah.
I don't know why R hasn't been putting me on no footage, but yeah, we're about to make something happen.
You're a popular brother, man. It's hard to get in contact with you.
Nah, I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
Word, man. All right, so let's get down to business. Yesterday, we had a debate between the Hebrews and the Kemetians, and the personalities were Brother Polite, yourself, our brother Nasi, Hashar, Shaka Amos,
GOCC.
the GOCC, our elder brother Gabar,
And I'm on your side.
and we had we had the Amin Ra squad.
Brother Ankh, Brother Jonathan, Asam Hotep,
Okay.
Brother Reggie.
Yeah. I was there. It was an electrifying event.
Tell the people what you said to me off camera. I want y'all to hear this.
Yo,
What did you say to me off camera?
Yo, man. First of all, that event was tough. It was dope. I didn't get to see everything, so I'm waiting for Sanetta to either put it out or somebody else to put it out. But I got to give it to Brother Polite, man. I didn't hear all the information, but I must admit he's probably the most electrifying personality we have in the game, man. He put it down, and it's not looking good for the Hebrews. It's not. I mean, it's not looking good, man. His presentation was on point, man. It was just on point. You know, I can't say nothing else but that, man. It was on point. I did like Nasi's presentation. I did like how Hashar came in with the double team and all of that. But I must say, Polite's presentation was on point. And I got to give it to the Amin Ra squad too. They came in at the end and they laid down some things. They cleared the air on certain aspects. But I must give it to you too. Once you came up there,
I'm coming last, right?
but you
I'm just joking with you.
You know what you did? First of all, you presented last, and the consensus was in regards to the audience. Why wasn't this brother on the whole time? Where was Divine Prospect in this debate? Why did you? First of all, let us know why weren't you involved more? It seemed like you were being rushed.
Yeah.
And you know.
So I'm gonna clear a lot of things up. But a lot of people would ask me on Facebook, what's going on? The Hebrew team wasn't really vocative in regards to what transpired yesterday. I had to think about it first before I decided to interface with people. And because I'm very people-oriented, whenever people reach out to me, I like to be, reachable.
Right. I saw you on Facebook going hard.
Yeah, so I started responding back to the people to let them know what my issues were. Now, what I will say is that great energy. The turnout was amazing. And I hope that every event after this can double, quadruple, because to see that many conscious people, or even semi-conscious people, come out to an event like that, we have an obligation to capitalize off of that by providing to them a social, political, and economic service. So not only do they get intellectual deposits, but they can also be able to extract and withdraw something so they can leave home with it to go fix their social ills.
Right.
So in regards to the debate, in regards to who won, my personal opinion, I believe it was a tie.
Okay.
And I say that only because of the disorganization, right? Now, I'm not faulting Sanetta. I'm not faulting Gabar. I'm not faulting Polite. All I'm saying is that the coordination was not on point like it could have been. And because of such, the presentation could have been much more enhanced. And because we started an hour and a half late, we had to cut into the second round, and the second round was pretty much rushed. So people can understand is that I was all over the place, helping here, talking to the people, staying online, seeing what the people's concerns was and stuff like that, helping with the technical difficulties. When Sanetta left his seat, went back and did it, helped my team to go back on some last minute things. So I was all over the place, right? But my objective was I wanted to sit in the audience and see what the people see. Because if we're not hands-on with the people, then we failed them. See? So I wanted to be that person where I could interface with the presenters and still be with the people. So in regards to the debate, I felt that the topic was Kemet on trial. That was the subject matter.
Right.
Kemet on trial. I don't think the accusations was laid out too specifically in our intro. Brother Q did a great job, but it did not hammer home the accusations. So when you do that, you're not setting the ultimate precedent for the opposite team to follow, because now it's very clear to the audience exactly what needs to be tackled, and then when we get up there to prosecute, they know what to expect. I thought that my presentation was fly. Genesis hating on me, but it's all good. You know, if anybody has seen the video.
Listen, your presentation was on point. It was just that it was rushed. So the public, we couldn't actually appreciate it the way we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Peace, gangs.
Peace.
So the people can't really appreciate it.
I'm gonna say this on record. If it comes out where everybody can see it, they'll be looking forward to you. Like, they'll want more of you. They'll want more of you, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, my objective was to play a support role.
Right.
I didn't.
You're
really,
a researcher.
Yeah. So in regards to the debate, now that it's over and I don't have to market or promote it,
right.
I didn't want to do the debate. You know what I'm saying? Because my ultimate objective is what's going to come out of it, right? So ultimately, you know, both sides presented what they could in the time allotted. I wanted to see more of Jonathan and Ankh, because Jonathan did a pretty good presentation. I loved it. It was great.
Right.
But it did not address the concerns that the Hebrews was putting forth. My particular objective...
What were those concerns?
Well, one of them was cannibalism.
Okay.
And that's what Brother Nazi pulled out. Another one was in regards to immorality. Hashar was talking about how feces was used to put into a woman.
Yes.
And that was crazy. They also had the images that they normally put up there with the erected penis in the mouth and stuff like that. So I think Jonathan touched on aspect of that when he was talking about the seminal fluid coming from the spine and etc.
Right.
And I thought that was an interesting twist, but it didn't really hammer home to the point, because even if they understood it then, if a layman was to see that, would they get the same interpretation? Do they need a person to be there and interpret it for them? And my problem that I have with the Kemetic community is that they didn't present any resources for the audience to go back and do their own studies. See, I have a problem when somebody hoards all the information and says, well, I'm the source and you got to come to me. And no, you give the people the tools so they can double check your work. This is why now we on camera, I'm saying it to my Kemetic brothers that's out there. Please, somebody who's ever proficient in the Medjugorje, go to Sinetta's couch and do a presentation. I know Brother Reggie touched on that, but I want one of the linguists to actually get involved and show people the resources that they can utilize to decipher the language. One of the resources that I like is from Rickety Amen. Rickety Amen has a book called Conversations in Medjugorje, and it makes it very colloquial so that you can speak the language today, as opposed to just having it to read from glyphs, to read from the papyruses, etc. So we got to find a way to transmute this to the people as a colloquial language, because the power is in speaking and living the language, not just reading what the ancestors did, but being able to do something today. This is why when we did with the Hebrew, and I did my Hebrew alphabet, I was trying to give it into a format so that way the people can digest it, so that way they have the tools that when they come across the text, they know how to decipher it. So we need the same thing from the Kemetic community. But in regards to debate, and I'm going to wrap this up with this, I'm going to say the debate was a tie. I think if there's a part two, which I'm not advocating, but if there is a part two, and let's say that there was no technical difficulties, everything was fully organized, I think it's going to be wow, man. Because you know why? Each team, just like when you're in a boxing match, you go back and you watch your previous fight to see what you did wrong and how you can mix up on it, right? So when you analyze that going into part two, it's like, yo, I see how I could hit him with a jab here and I could have weaved this way. So now we're seeing what can be added. And again, Polite did have a pretty good presentation, but we was trying to get Zion to go on. I couldn't find Zion. People said, well, Zion left, but Zion was still there. So it was a lot of miscommunication. So I was like, you know what, let me just go. You know what I'm saying? And I only had 15 minutes, actually less than that, because people were talking. I was like, yo, let me work.
Right.
So I had like 13 minutes really, and I was just running through it. And I felt so bad because the people were cheated, because I had two presentations, one that was going to deal with the slavery situation and that was going to deal with the Exodus situation, because those are one of the immorality charges that Polite had marketed. And he said, well, why don't you put us on? And I guess Polite thought that we wasn't going to do that, and that's why he didn't present it. So that's why my presentation, I had the movie up there because I actually had a 10-minute slide that I was using through the Fair Use Act, Educational Act, that I went into the theater and I was allowed to record. I chopped it down to 9 minutes, and it dealt with each one of the points in regards to the Exodus. And I wanted to play that, and I had 10 slides after that. So I saw nobody was actually touching on that subject at all. So I was like, all right, it is what it is. But then I wanted to deal with Polite in regards to him being a teacher. And Polite's a phenomenal teacher, but he makes some errors from my position. I'm not going to beat him in the head for it. You know, he came to his own conclusion, but then me having to check him and then give the people the resources to check him, that was my objective. I didn't throw any personal shots at him. I didn't say nothing bad about Dr. Z York, because at the end, I gave the people over 25 books that I have in my library, and I brought 15 of them there with me when I was opening up my suitcase, because I wanted to show the people the tools that they can use to go back and double check all the claims I was making. So what I want to say in regards to this, I'm going to say subscribe to Ready for R.
Oh, yes.
If you do not subscribe for Ready to R, you have no clue what's about to go down this year.
Oh, yeah.
I want to give a shout out to George Best. He's not with us here today. People keep asking for that part 2 with me and George Best.
Oh, yeah.
George Best don't know. I've been up on my health paradigm, so I'm going to hit him with some stuff so we can do a little interface. I want to give a shout out also to Ali Muhammad. Shout out to Brother Polite. Shout out to Nazi Yashifel, Hashar. My brothers, we did our thing. Even though I was short my time, you know, it was all about my team and it was all about the people, you know. So I was really upset that the people got cheated, and I wasn't really that mad that I didn't perform. But I know people will say, yo, Devon, we need you to get up there. We like the energy where you and Polite did your sit down. And I said, you know, if the people want this, I got to give them what they want. And I rushed it, so I want to apologize to the people for rushing it. But what I want to say is that I'm going to do some more work with Ready for R, so he'll get some exclusive information. I got a couple lectures coming up this year that only Ready for R is going to get.
Oh, yeah, and I want that full, I want the one that you didn't get to do yesterday.
Oh,
like, if you don't do that on Sonetta TV, man, I need that one.
Nah, I'm not going to do it on Sonetta. Sonetta has a specific presentation for me that's coming in the spring.
Okay, yeah.
So he wanted me to do it, but I said, I don't know, you know. I didn't really have the time. He wasn't free today. So now, you know, it's up for grabs. It's a free agent presentation. If Ready for R wants it, Ready for R may get it.
Yeah, I definitely want that one, man.
But I'm going to have something especially designed for Ready for R that if you guys don't subscribe on this channel, you will not get.
Check out the website.
Check out the website. What's the website?
ReadyForR.com. And I want you to let us know where we can find you. But before that, I got to ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
I asked the Zaryach and I asked Sankofa. What is it that the Hebrews and the Kemetians or the Kemites can actually agree upon to build on? Any particular subject or any particular idea? What can they actually agree on to build?
Social, political, economics.
Okay.
It boils down to that. Everybody needs food, clothing, water, shelter. Everybody needs love, attention, affection. Everybody needs confidence. Everybody needs a sense of identity. And I think the problem is that when we jump to identity first, because identity is the springboard for your ideology. When you jump to identity first as a springboard, because identity is necessary to build your confidence. But before you can get that confidence, if you don't have sufficient food, if your diet is poor, if you're heavy in debt, if you politically don't have a voice in your community, you don't own any land, then none of your ideology matters until those ills are resolved. So we have to come together and say, hey, what is the basic principles or the basic elements that we need as human beings to survive as a people in America? And once we can ensure that all of us have those needs met, social, politically, economically, and health, then now we have a platform that once we come together with these commonalities, now we can build everything else after that. But if we don't deal with these fundamentals, and a good example is this, you know, you have a lot of brothers that was coming in there that had debt issues. You had a lot of brothers in there that had poor diets.
Right.
You had a lot of brothers in there that had issues in regards to their homes being foreclosed. So they come into this event to watch this thing, and they're leaving out with these same issues. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I'm saying is that if we identify the basic necessities that we as a melanated people need to survive, and we come together and say, listen, how can we make sure there's more food in the community? How can we make sure that there's a better health paradigm in the community? How do we make sure that we have a political voice? Because we can go on the street corner and say this, and that, but how can we take that and make it on a grander scale so that way we can compete in Congress? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
How can we stop the foreclosures that's happening in the communities? How can we purchase land? How can we do agriculture and carpentry? These are basic tools that we all need, because when the time comes, as a black people in a white supremacist society, you're going to be reduced to those regular basic necessities. And if you're so gung-ho on just your ideology, when you get stripped from that freedom to actually express it, and then you get reduced to just the common things, and that's never your focal point, then we're doomed. Because then we won't even have a platform to debate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to make sure that we're able to establish these resources, and once everybody has it abroad, now we can come to the table and decide on ideology and things of that nature. But the social, political, economic, and health paradigm needs to be established first. It needs to be a working model that works for every community, and once we're on the same page, then we can bang on each other in regards to ideology, because that is black power at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
bro.
So I just want to say all praises to the Most High as well. And I'm going to say to my Kemetic brothers, I love y'all. Stop recruiting me, yo. No, I'm stop. Nah, y'all trying to recruit me, man, and that's interesting,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. You know, the fact that y'all see me as a Hebrew, and like, yo, you don't need to be a Hebrew. I want to show you a different paradigm. And when I pull out this work later on this year, you're going to say, you know what? We respect the Hebrew paradigm even more, Divine, and we're not going to try to recruit you, but they be trying. Yo, I'm telling you, they be trying to recruit me, but it's cool.
Yeah, I
It's cool.
seen Polite, so you
It's
got to
cool.
come over.
Yeah, he's like, you got to switch over. But I just want to say I thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank my brother Janice for coming out there too, because he always comes out to support these events. You need to support him, and I'm telling to all the presenters there. R comes out to all these events, and he supports you guys. So if you know he has a platform, support Ready for R, because this is the next generation of what the previous generation is trying to give to us, and we're trying to put that format out there for our generation. Because Ready for R is popping. They sleeping on you, R, but we're going to bring it out this year. They're going to have some good stuff that nobody's going to see before. And if you don't subscribe, you won't be privy of it. So I just wanted to leave it with that.
Thank you, bro. Let us know where we can find more of you and what you do.
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook. Just type in Divine Prospect. I'm the only Divine Prospect there, so it'll come up. You can also reach me on kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. You can also reach me on Instagram at Kingdom Moments. You can also reach me on YouTube. Type in Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. And I'm going to say this real quick. Kingdom Harbinger Ministries is a school of thought that I pioneered and engineered. And the purpose of it is to utilize my Hebrew Israelite ideology to fix the social ills in the black community. Because ultimately, if our ideology cannot fix the social, economic, political, and health paradigms, then it's no good, at least from my perspective. So what we do is that we have credit, loan, debt cancellation services. We offer naturopathic health service plans, and I'm going to outsource it also to George, because I know George does a lot of work in that field, so I want him to go over the paradigms that I already established as far as our health plans is concerned. So shout out to you, George Best. Also, we have naturopathic health remedies, which goes part of the health plan. We also help people in regards to getting low-cost homes. So if anybody's in the market for a home, instead of you going and being dependent on taking out a loan from the bank, we show you a means of actually acquiring these homes for low cost, so that way you can eliminate paying your mortgage and just focus on doing the property taxes, so that money can go back into the community for the maintenance of roads, etc. And also we help with business startup programs. So if you have an idea for business, we help you create the logo. Once you get the logo, we help you patent your logo. Once you patent your logo, we help you with your mission statement. And after the mission statement, we get everything LLC'd. And from there, we give it to you. Because a lot of times people say, oh, you know, I got an idea. And I say, okay, let's materialize it. So we'll give you all the tools to materialize it. And now to see if it was meant for you to do, because a lot of people make excuses, now we want to see what you do with it. Now we got you all the tools to get in place. What do you do with it? I also have a computer repair business called CFix, and I'm going to relaunch that this year as well. And ultimately, my objective is not, if I can refrain from taking funding from the people, because people can donate. If you want to donate, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. You can donate to that. Also, click on my Facebook page. I have a GoFundMe. Just click on the link. I'm going to post it up again tomorrow so you guys can see it if you want to donate. But if I can refrain from retrieving donations from the people and be able to support my own efforts, so that way I don't have to levy it onto the people, that is my ultimate objective. So I just want the people to know that ultimately it's about you guys at the end of the day. Without you, there won't be no Ready for R. Without you, there won't be no Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. Right. Without you, there won't even be a debate. You guys made it into what it was and to what it can be in the future. So we continuously need your guys' support. Hold us as leaders accountable. If we can't take 5 minutes to holler at you, to talk with you, to kick it with you, then you know you may not want to support us because you can't trust us. So what we have to do as leaders is establish that bonding with the people so they can trust us, and once they trust us, then they will fully support us. So shout out to Ready for R. Subscribe. I'm not going to hold you up because you know I'll go in. But I want to thank R for taking his time out to record me, and I want you guys to subscribe and enjoy for the things that's about to come, because it's going to be exclusive.
Good luck, baby. Peace.
Peace.